See, the problem with a lot of these videos online that talk about how to build confidence, or like, top tips of how to build confidence, problem is that they're really just tackling the symptoms and they're not going to the root cause of why we're even feeling lack of confidence in the first place. And the thing is, you can tackle symptoms all day long with one tip after another, but at the end of the day, as long as we're not tackling that root cause, it's not going to go away. We're always going to be dealing with lack of confidence in certain areas of our life. So in this video, I want to talk about why is it that we feel lack of confidence? What's the dynamic that's going on in our minds, and how do we ultimately eradicate the cause of lack of confidence in the first place? So to do this, imagine a situation in your life where you feel lack of confidence, right? Maybe it's investing in yourself or your business, right? Investing large amounts of money. Maybe there's a lot of fear associated with that. Maybe it's trusting people in relationships. Like, I can certainly relate to that one. Maybe letting people close to you and the fear that they're gonna leave, or perhaps it's fear of getting injured in sports or whatever. Like, pick your topic, whatever it can be. So in that situation, imagine that there's two sides to the coin, right? Imagine that the best case scenario that you can possibly imagine achieving in this area of your life, and then imagine the worst case scenario, like the deepest fear that if that were to happen, it would just be devastating, right? Now, if you had limitless confidence, zero fear, limitless confidence in this area of your life, what actions would you take? Would it even be a consideration about this, this worst case scenario? Would we even care? Wouldn't matter, would it? If there was zero fear, we're just like, right, we want the best case scenario. What do I do to make that happen? Take action. Boom, go. We'd be unlimited. We'd be able to express ourselves completely without these fears or these patterns holding us back. But the difference is, right now, we feel the fear. And it's the fear of the worst case scenario. And obviously there's everything in between the best case and the worst case. There's a whole load of different outcomes in the middle. But if we focus on the extremes, there's two sides to the coin. This will illustrate this point. And so it's the fear of the worst case scenario, the whole sense of, yeah, but what if that happens, that will stop us from taking action. And when we fear the worst case, the more that we need reassurance that the worst case won't happen. We need reassurance that we're going to achieve the best case or positive outcomes. Because within that reassurance, we feel that gives us an element of certainty where we can avoid facing the first case. And it's that need for certainty that attaches us to an outcome of needing the best case scenario. And here's the problem with that. Because if we attach ourselves to needing the outcome of the best case scenario, and it's in needing that outcome that we get to feel peace and calm, where we don't have to face the fear or the risk of the worst case scenario, the more we need the outcome of the best case, the more we're attached to that, the more fear, the more risk, the more we've got to lose if the worst case were to happen. And the more that we fear the worst case, because the more we see it as we have something to lose because we're attached to the positive outcome, the more we need reassurance. And the more we need reassurance, the more we attach to needing the positive outcome that fuels the fear of the negative outcome, and the more we need reassurance, and so on and so forth. So the fact that we're identifying with and attaching ourselves to the outcome of needing the positive or the best case scenario, the more we're feeling the fear around the worst case. And so this is the one thing that we need to get to start to break this dynamic. What we need to get is that we're looking for reassurance, we're looking for it's going to be okay, but we've created this dialogue where it's going to be okay can only exist in one outcome. We're creating this environment where we need it to be okay, but it can only be okay in the best case scenario. And because we're not psychic, because we're not God, because we can't predict the future, we cannot see with certainty that we will definitely create this best case or positive outcome, there will always be the fear and the dialogue of it's not going to be okay, associated with the negative outcome. And the fear and the anxiety and the stress and the lack of confidence and all the negative emotions exist because of this dynamic where the worst case means it's not okay and the best case means it is okay, and we can't predict the future, so we will never truly know which of those are going to happen. And it's that needing to know and needing one outcome for it to be okay that produces all of this stress and this lack of confidence. And so if we want to break this pattern, there's one thing that we have to do. We have to change the meaning behind it's going to be okay. We need to make sure that we have a dynamic, we create a dynamic where no matter what happens, it will always be okay. Because if it's going to be okay can exist on both sides of the coin, if it can exist in both outcomes, we no longer need to attach ourselves to one of them. We no longer need reassurance that this one will happen. We can now move forwards accepting that whatever one happens doesn't really matter, because it's always going to be okay. We're safe, we're fine. We don't need one for us to be okay, and there's no risk of the other happening because the other doesn't mean anything. And to flip this dialogue on its head, to make sure that we can know with every ounce of our being that it will always be okay, we need to embrace the worst case scenario. This is the key to dealing with lack of confidence. We look at the very thing that we fear and we go right there. We look at it and we go, you know what? If that was to happen, let's go there. What would I do? What would be my next steps? If that was to happen, is the world actually going to fall apart? Am I actually going to end up homeless on the streets and, trying to eat scraps out of the bins of the town centre? Am I actually going to be in this life or death situation? And the truth of the matter is, we will figure it out. We always have, and we always will. And if you're sitting watching this video on YouTube right now, or if you're watching this video on my website right now, wherever you're watching it, the fact of the matter is, it has always worked out okay. Because if it hadn't, you wouldn't be sitting watching this video right now. When your back is against the wall, you have always figured it out, and you always will. You will never let it get to that point that we're fearing it will get to in our minds. The fact is, it will always be okay. And when you can look at that worst case scenario and actually truthfully look at it and go, what would I actually do if I was in that position? Is it actually as bad as I think? And the moment that you can accept that and surrender to it and truly let go of trying to control the outcome, when we can be okay with the worst case scenario, we become okay with anything that can happen, and then we no longer need to predict the future. And when we no longer need to predict the future, that's when it's going to be okay can exist no matter what happens. And when it's going to be okay exists no matter what happens, that is when we truly, with every ounce of our being, know that we're safe, it's fine, everything's fine, it will always be fine. And that's when we can operate from a space of limitless self-confidence. We don't need to fear anything anymore. The fear disappears when we embrace the worst case scenario, when we show up to life with trust and openness and surrender, and we stop trying to control the future. Just let it be, because whatever happens, you'll always be okay. When you get that dialogue, that's when true confidence will come, but not before then. As long as we're attached to an outcome, as long as we need something to happen, and as long as we need reassurance or validation that it's going to happen before we're taking action, we're fueling the very thing that we fear. Because by needing validation, we're more attaching ourselves to one outcome, therefore the more we fear the other. The two are interlinked. So wherever you fear right now, investing in yourself, opening up to others, whatever it is, if you're fearing something, you go right to whatever it is you're fearing and you look at it and you embrace it. And when you can embrace it and go, you know what, if that happens, I'll be okay, I'm still going to take action anyway, that's when you set yourself free. And that's when you will start manifesting those best case scenarios in your life, because you're no longer getting inhibited by the very thing that you're fearing. And if that's what's stopping you taking action, that's what you're going to manifest in your life. That's how manifestation works. All right, so let go, set yourself free, and then just take action without being attached to the outcome. If you've enjoyed this video, hit like. And also, more importantly, if you have a perspective to share, I would love to hear it. And I know that a lot of people who watch these videos will also look at the comments down below. So if you do have something to add that you feel from your life has been really beneficial, really powerful, something that's helped you gain confidence, gain clarity, gain trust in yourself, please comment below, please do share it, because it can help a lot of other people as well to hear your perspective. And finally, if you've enjoyed this video, I do lots more videos like this, so hit subscribe, which you'll see in the bottom corner just there right now. Click subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and then you'll get an alert whenever more videos like this are posted, which I do 3 times per week. Thanks very much for watching, really hope it helped, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.